Good afternoon, class. Today we have a new chapter in history. We are going to start, that is weavers, iron smelters and factory owners. Before moving further and before getting into the books, we will start with the background. Okay, and the background is about how Indian textile, how Indian industry was there before the Britishers came to our nation. So the background, when we see the background, there is Indian industry in the 17th century, I have written here. And at that time, agriculture plus industry and development. Why have I written like that? See, India, during when Britishers did not come to our country, that time, we were developed. What kind of development? How a country is called a developed country. Why we call a country is developed? Because it has flourished agriculture. It is flourished in industry sector. All these things was there in India before Britishers. Okay? And in this chapter, we will be dealing about two main industries. First is textile industry. Second is iron and steel industry. And these both industries are very important and played a very crucial role in the development of our nation. In the development of industrial revolution. And why these industries were so much crucial in industrial revolution? Can anybody tell me? See, industries, iron and steel industry, textile industry. India had a very, we can say India had a very flourished textile industry before Britishers came to our nation, because India was supplying goods, India was supplying fabrics. Like textile industry belongs to fabric industry. So India was supplying their products to the world market, and the people of the other countries and the people from other nations was so much, they used to like our materials, they valued our products because of what? Because of first thing was like it has a fine quality. Second thing, like exquisite craftsmanship. The craft or the weavers which were there in our country, they had a different style of pleasing kind of we can say weaving pattern, the designs. Those things were very those things appealed people from other nations to buy those products. So here is I would give you an example. Like almost everything, it is told by a British person. He said that almost everything that used to be made of wool or silk relating either to dress of women or furniture of our houses was supplied by Indian trade. One more thing is here, like silk or wool has come. Why we are talking of silk or wool? Like people in other countries, that time cotton textile was famous because it is very fine quality, obviously. But when we go back now, before industrial revolution in Britain or other Western countries, people of those countries used to they used to wear either leather clothes or woolen clothes. Both these clothes were, we also know it is comfortable in the winter season, during winter season when we wear these clothes. But is it, will you wear leather or woolen clothes during summer season? Will you wear? No.
No, ma'am.
We don't want it. We want cotton clothes. We know about cotton clothes. That time they were not aware of it. So somehow they got to know there is a fabric comes from India, that is cotton fabric. So they like the fabric because it is very comfortable in during winter season to wear for wearing. So people from those countries wanted that from where all these kinds of fabrics are coming. And India was having trade like when we talk about textile industry, India was trading all their textile products from the countries of like Sumatra, Penang, we have Central Asia. All these countries were trading from India at that time. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. See, in this chapter, we are going to explore some things like about how the people of our nation that time got exploited because of some we can say some laws or rules which Britishers made on us. Like one of the most important thing we will be reading about here, unilateral trade policy which they followed. And here is if we go through our book, now let's start. This is a factor. We have been given a picture here. You all can see. It is a picture of Surat, okay, Gujarat. It is a port in Surat, and we can see the fortification vegetation all around the port. And why we can see the picture when we go through the picture. In picture it is written it is so much flourished in the 17th century. But later on, at the end of 18th century, the importance of this port got declined. What happened during this period that the port which was so much important before some years ago, some centuries ago, and then after its importance got declined. So these are the one things also which we are going to read about, that how importance of Indian textile and industry got declined. This is what the picture is about, is given here for telling us like how it got declined after several years. So first thing which if we go through our book, it is written here that workshop of the world. Britain, people started calling Britain as a workshop of the world. Why people started calling them as a workshop of the world? As we know that they like Britishers, when they came to our country from here, why did they come? They come here for trading. They came here for trading. And at first they came as a trader, and later on they started ruling. We all know this story, right? Yes. So here, if we move further, we all know that India was called Golden Sparrow, Sone ki Chiriya. Everybody knows that, right? Yes. There was a time when India was called Sone ki Chiriya, and the reason behind it, textile industry. That is why we are reading here about textile industry. How important role did textile industry play when we go back to centuries in our economy? So this is all about, we will be exploring that how the things got changed after several years when Britishers came. So the first thing here which I told you about, like why people started calling Britain as a workshop of the world, because when mechanized production started happening in Europe, okay, in the Britain we say, so what happened there? People moved to handloom products to power looms, okay. People started, like machinery started setting up there, inventions are happening there. So what is happening? If all these things are happening in that country, obviously people will develop, right? But from where are they getting all the resources? They are taking resources from our country. See, one more thing here, if we go through this, our chapter, in 1765, we know that the Battle of Plassey happened, right? Yes. So after Battle of Plassey, what happened? Britishers got political power, right? When they conquered Bengal and Bengal, economics power, political power, economic power, and social power also they got after 1765. So from that place, after 1765, their journey of ruling starts properly in a proper way. They started conquering states, they started, annexing all the princely states, we can say. And how these things affect later on, we will discuss in this chapter. And the first question which is given here is about how did this affect Indian crafts and industry. This is the question we will explore in this chapter. It is given here also the same thing as I told you. So I would like to show you one video which we have here. So here we have been given a video. In this video we will explore how different kinds of fabric like calicos, we have jamdani, we have muslin, how these clothes got their name from the other parts of the world. These names like muslin we say today, we say malmal dress, you know that, right? Malmal, you don't know? Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah. Malmal. Then we have that is also called, that is muslin. Then we have calico. How these kinds of names arose? Okay, these names are not given by us. Okay, we Indians have not given these names. These names have been given by foreign people. Okay, so let's see.
Major hub for the production of cotton textiles until the arrival of the British in the mid-18th century.
In the mid-18th century, it is saying that in the mid-18th century, India was one of the major hubs for cotton textile industry. Okay, and cotton textile industry played a major role for the for flourishing India that time. But after Britishers come, when they came to our nation, the things changes.
Let's look at some of the exquisite varieties of textiles that originated in this land and became popular far beyond its boundaries.
Okay, these are the types of fabric which originated in our land, that is India, and it had a world popularity. But they got popular in the world, all over the world. People like these products. People used to buy these products, and it was so much prized and valuable in the foreign market. So let's see how it happens.
Here's muslin, a soft, fine fabric made from thick cotton yarn. Muslin dresses were particularly popular in 18th century France due to the immense softness and pleasing white color of the material.
See the name, how the name originates. It is given here. The name muslin originated outside India. It is not the name which is given in India. Arab merchants used to buy the fabric from India to sell in their local markets. So we know that Arab and India had a very old relationship in trading. So Arab merchants used to come to India and they used to buy those products, and from where they used to sell those products to? They used to sell these products to their market, their local market. And some European traders saw the fabric in Mosul. Mosul is a place, now present day it is Iraq, and the old name of Iraq is Mosul. And some European traders, they have also come for trading, right? So they also used to come there for trading to buy their material, and they used to sell that where? In their market. So the same thing happened in, what happened here? Like European traders came to Mosul. There they saw muslin fabric. And the softness of this fabric gave the name, they gave the name muslin. Because they bought it from Mosul, that is why they gave the name muslin to that fabric. Okay, this is about muslin.
Calico is a densely woven cloth made from unbleached cotton using the warp and weft pattern of weaving.
See, this fabric is very important.
Calico derives its name from a town called Calicut, today known as Kozhikode in the state of Kerala. Calico weavers traditionally belonged to the Chaliya community and were therefore known as Chaliyas.
While calico is generally referred to as fabric in Europe, it cannot printed design in America. See, calico, if we talk about calico, it is one of the most important fabric we can say, because during 1730s, if we see now, in 1720, see, if we talk about calico fabric, we got to know from where it got its name, because people bought those fabrics from Calicut. From there it got its name as calico. Then after, we will see later on in 1720s, if we go to Britain market, like England or Britain market, the traders of wool or silk leather fabric, the traders were not there, they were also making products of leather or wool that time. So those traders started protesting and complained to their government, asking them to ban Indian products. And that time an act is passed by British government, and that act is known as Calico Act. So you can see how immense popularity the Indian product had that time, right? So it is all about Calico.
Chintz was typically smooth.
It is also used for spices too. Okay, Calico. Yeah, it is a kind of fabric. Later on, it is only used for fabric, but it is about spices or anything they bought from Calicut. They gave a name of Calico.
Calico cloth printed with colorful floral and other patterns. The name chintz comes from the Hindi word chint, which means a cloth with small and colorful floral designs. By the late 17th century, the popularity of chintz grew to such an extent that local textile makers in other countries began to protest. The import of chintz was forbidden in France in 1686 and later in England in 1720. Jandari is
We will go through a video to see a long history of Indian textiles.
Indian textiles became a valuable item of trade with Europe, Persia, Arabia, and other cultures. The Indian textile industry included a variety of skilled artisans such as spinners, weavers, dyers, block printers, and
there is a block printers. There were people who were specialized in block printing. Block printing is a kind of design which is carved on a wood, and that it may be flowery pattern or anything. and it is then we say it is then pasted on the fabric. Okay, and the people were skilled in that particular profession. If somebody is weaver, then they will be so much skilled in that their particular profession. So we had that is what we have given.
Others. However, British colonization along with the Industrial Revolution led to a sharp decline of traditional Indian textile industries from the 19th century. Along with the Industrial Revolution led to a sharp decline of traditional Indian textile.
See here what are they showing? It is showing what Industrial Revolution. When Industrial Revolution came, okay, during 1750s, if we talk about 1750s when Industrial Revolution came, what happened? The things like fabric which we Indian used to sell, right? They started making their products in huge amount. They used to take resources from our country. They were not growing cotton. Okay, they used to take those cottons from our country
India
as a raw material. They used to make fabric from that, right? And they are making fabric at a large price. Okay, they are having huge amount of fabric because they are using machinery tools. They are having mechanized production. We can say mechanized production means they are shifting from handmade products to machinery production. Obviously, a machine will make more than products than a handmade products. A person is making one product in a day. Machine will do more than maybe 10 or 100, right? So these are the things happened, and the popularity. If we say earlier it was popular, but when Industrial Revolution came as they started protesting that product from Indian market should be banned. Then people with studies they started studying research, and so many machine inventions started happening there. Like we have spinning jenny. Okay, so these things when happens there in Britain, in England especially, that time the products which we are, what will they do now? They will be making so many products, huge amount of products, and they need market for that. They saw India as their market. They started making products and selling in our country. They were selling products to our nation. Since
Take a brief look at various factors that led to the decline of the Indian textile industries.
This experience of food culture. See, we know, like in India, what used to happen earlier, when Britishers came, they used to buy products from our local traders, right? They were buying products from our local traders. They were giving in exchange something. They were giving something in exchange, like if they are buying 10 different types of fabric, they will give them either silver or gold. This kind of things were there in exchange system. Yes, obviously the barter system we know, take and give, same kind of system was there. So it was following that time also. So what happened later on, after the advent Bengal, like after 1765, the scenario changes. They stopped paying us, okay. They took our material, they started ruling us, like everything is ours now. Now we have power here, we have all the power, we have all the right over your resources. You have to pay me, and we will pay you at a very they were giving us but very low price of those products. So, and later on, earlier what was happening, like silver or gold, they were giving from their nation to our country. Those things, they were like traders. They used to come to buy products from our traders. And what were they doing? They were paying our traders silver coins or gold coins in exchange. But later on, what happens after 1765, things got changed. And here we have a reason, like causes of decline of Indian textile. The first reason we will see here, like disappearance of court culture. We have disappearance of court culture here is about like earlier what happened in earlier period, like small traders or large scale traders, whoever was there in our country, they used to design their clothes, they used to make products, right? And they used to come to our kings or rulers. They will go to them like, this is the design we have made, this is the craftsmanship which we have done on a fabric. And if the kings or the rulers used to like that product, they used to buy it at a good amount. They used to give them some good exchange for that. So these were the things. That these things disappeared now of court culture because what were they doing? Britishers, they were annexing other states. They were removing princely status, and they were what? They were setting up their rules over those states. So this thing also you will see in the video how this thing happens. Here we have this disappearance of court culture.
Before the advent of the British rule, several kingdoms existed in India.
Obviously, we know that.
Rulers brought exclusive creations to the royal courts. If the rulers were impressed with the design, they would accept the item and reward the artisan generously. Many weavers earn their livelihood through such royal patronage.
Later on, what happened?
The custom of presenting merchandise in the royal court slowly disappeared when these rulers were forced to give up their kingdoms to the British.
Now they are sitting.
Textile makers who supplied to royal courts were left with no buyers for their goods and had to look for other means of livelihood.
They lost their livelihood, right? Because of these things. Then second impact will be like impact of industrial revolution. See, this is one of the most important impact we will read about.
The invention of the spinning jenny and the steam engine in the 18th century helped increase the speed at which cotton was processed in England. England began to mass produce cotton textiles in its own country. It soon started supplying machine-made textiles to other markets in Europe, America, and even
What is happening? They
India.
are having machine now. They started supplying machines to other countries.
British machine-made textiles were cheaper and of a more consistent quality than Indian handloom textiles.
See, what happened? British fabric, if it is machine made, it will be cheaper. Obviously, they are not having that. They started copying our, like craftsmanship, the artisans which were doing the designs, they started copying our designs. So this things also happened at that time. And this, because of this, we can also say like how popular our designs were that time. Because they started copying and selling those products in their market. Later on, what
People
happened?
in India.
One more thing I would like to conclude. One more thing, like see, I told you that they were taking resources from our country, and they saw India as their market.
Yes, ma'am.
They sold our products to our people. You won't believe at the end of 18th century, if we go to 18th century or in 19th century around, we will see 80% of the Indian people were wearing we can say the foreign clothing like fabrics which were coming from England. 80% of the population of our nation that time. So we can see how big the number is, right? 80%. That is why later on, like today also we say vocal for local. We say like brand Chinese products. When Diwali comes, we also, like we promote our products and we want that people should buy products from our local market so that money should be saved. Money should be there in our country. It should not go to the other parts of the world, other countries. So these are the things. Here was thousands of declines.
And other places preferred to buy British machine-made textiles. This led to a fall in the sale of Indian textiles everywhere.
Next, tariff policy. It is also one of the most important thing which played an important role for Britain to develop.
In order to encourage their own textile industry, the British also imposed heavy tariffs on the export of Indian.
See, they banned, right? But Indian market also, Indian people traders also, then also they were doing their manufacturing. They also wanted to sell their products. What did they do? They removed all other people from the competition. Like they removed French, they removed Portuguese and other people from our nation. And then after, when we see like Europe, we are talking about Europe, tariff policy we are talking about. They did, we can see here, like tariff policy, they imposed high amount of taxes on us. If we are, the product is of 30 rupees, they are imposing tax of, we can say 100 rupees. Then how we will sell the product? 130 rupees? Obviously, nobody will buy our products then. So Indian products, Indian goods became incompetitive. That thing also happened later on.
This increased the price of Indian goods in the global market. By the early 19th century, most Indian textile exports such as muslin cloth from Dhaka had completely stopped. Were left jobless and had to seek employment continued to exist in certain parts of India, but mostly
Satyagraha movement.
Yes,
Because
and how-
textile workers became jobless. Then Gandhiji also encouraged people to buy our local products, boycott foreign products, because he saw that how many people of our nation were, influenced with Western culture, and they were buying Western products, Western fabrics. So first thing he wanted people to do is that boycott what? Foreign products, foreign goods.
to seek employment
They are
elsewhere.
now. So we can see how badly they impacted our nation. India, before Britishers came, one of the most flourished country was there during that time. It had, when during the time of Orangey, if we talk about, we read about Orangey, no? Yes. India was owing 1/4 of the world GDP, means 23 to 27% around. If we go to the round figure, India was owing that GDP in the world market, in the world global GDP we talk about. And later on, today what we have, it is maybe about 7.5. So around, it is a round figure just. So we can see how badly it has impacted our people, right? Our textile industry, our economy, social life also got affected because many people lost their livelihood. So these were the things, how India was known as Sone ki Chidiya, Golden Sparrow, later on, how we left with nothing, right? We became poor. Today also people say like, we are still developing, we are not developed yet, but we were developed at that time. So these were the things about today. So I will conclude my class with this. Okay, thank you.